At a quiet truck stop on a sunny afternoon, a female veteran pulled her vehicle into a parking lot, just hoping for a quick rest and a bite to eat. Little did she know, a pair of bikers nearby had their sights set on her, their cocky demeanor suggesting they were looking for trouble. What they didn't realize, though, was that this unassuming woman had spent years honing her skills as one of the most elite warriors in the world, a former Navy SEAL. As she stepped out of her truck, their sneering remarks echoed across the lot, drawing the attention of onlookers. Unshaken, she calmly assessed the situation, her quiet confidence masking a storm of readiness. The bikers thought they had the upper hand, but they had no idea who they were dealing with. What happened next would leave everyone at the truck stop in stunned silence. The two bikers exchanged smug glances, their laughter echoing as they sauntered closer. They saw her as an easy target, someone they could intimidate for a cheap thrill. What they couldn't see was the years of discipline, strength, and resilience hiding beneath her calm demeanor. She'd had faced far greater challenges than this in her lifetime, though she had no interest in conflict unless absolutely necessary. Around the truck stop, a few people glanced nervously in her direction, sensing tension in the air. Some whispered quietly, wondering if she'd back down or stand her ground. The veteran didn't flinch as the bikers circled her, their taunts growing louder. She studied them carefully, noting every detail, their body language, their movements, even their escape routes. For her, this wasn't about fear, it was about control. But for the bikers, the game they thought they were playing was about to take an unexpected turn. One of the bikers, a burly man with a leather vest covered in patches, stepped closer, invading her personal space. He smirked, towering over her as if his size alone could intimidate her. The other biker leaned against his motorcycle, laughing and egging him on. They were confident, almost careless, as though this were just another story they'd brag about later. But as they tried to provoke her, the veteran remained steady, her calm gaze never wavering. She didn't respond to their words. Instead, she observed them carefully, weighing her options. Inside, her instincts sharpened, her training kicking in. She had learned long ago to assess threats without giving away her next move. Meanwhile, a few onlookers watched from a distance, unsure if they should step in or stay out of it. The tension was palpable, each second feeling heavier than the last. No one realized this was the calm before the storm. The burly biker leaned in closer, his tone shifting from playful to threatening as he tried to get a reaction. His companion lit a cigarette, casually watching the scene unfold, confident that they had the upper hand. The veteran, however, stood firm, her posture unshaken, her expression unreadable. Every movement she made was deliberate, measured, like a coiled spring waiting for the right moment to release. A few more truck stop patrons had started to gather at a distance, their curiosity piqued by the brewing confrontation. Whispers rippled through the small crowd, some speculating on whether she'd walk away or if things would escalate. But the veteran wasn't looking for a way out. She was weighing every possible outcome, her mind working faster than anyone watching could imagine. The tension hit a breaking point when the biker closest to her reached out, his hand hovering too close. That's when her calm exterior began to shift, just slightly. As the biker's hand hovered near her shoulder, a faint smirk crossed her lips, a quiet warning that he either didn't notice or chose to ignore. Before he could finish his next taunt, the roar of another motorcycle engine cut through the air. Heads turned as a third rider pulled into the lot, the sleek black bike glinting under the sun. The figure dismounted, removing their helmet to reveal another veteran, someone the woman clearly recognized. The bikers exchanged uneasy glances as the newcomer approached, their confidence starting to waver. The two veterans shared a brief nod, an unspoken understanding passing between them. For the first time, the bikers seemed to sense they might be in over their heads, but pride kept them from backing down. The truck stop crowd grew larger, the air thick with anticipation. The tension climbed higher as everyone waited to see what would happen next, the bikers clearly unprepared for the storm they had provoked. The burly biker hesitated for a moment, glancing between the woman and her newfound ally. His bravado faltered, but he stepped forward again, unwilling to lose face. "Two of you now," he sneered. "Doesn't make a difference." Before he could say another word, the female veteran moved. With precise, controlled motions, she disarmed the situation, not with violence, but with a display of undeniable skill. She twisted the biker's hand away, immobilizing him in a hold that left no room for resistance. The crowd gasped, and his companion froze, his cigarette dropping to the pavement. The second veteran stepped closer, his voice calm but firm. "Walk away, now." The bikers, shaken and no longer cocky, muttered something under their breath and backed off. But just as the crowd began to disperse, a police car pulled into the lot. It seemed someone had called for backup, and now the bikers had more to answer for than bruised egos. The police officers stepped out of their vehicle, scanning the scene as the bikers tried to explain themselves. Their excuses sounded hollow, especially with a crowd of witnesses who had seen it all. The veterans stood off to the side, their calm presence speaking volumes. They didn't need to say much. Their actions had already left a lasting impression. As the officers dealt with the bikers, the female veteran quietly returned to her truck. A young woman from the crowd approached her, clearly inspired. "That was incredible," she said. The veteran smiled, her voice steady but kind. "Sometimes, staying calm is the best way to win." With that, she started her engine, the other veteran giving her a casual wave as she pulled away. The crowd slowly dispersed, carrying with them a story they'd likely share for years. Some encounters teach lessons. This one left behind a legacy of strength and composure.